In this question, we have a quadratic with these as solutions, and we may look at these and recognize that we're going to use the quadratic formula. As a side note, I'm not going to show you how to do it this way. You can on your own. You could use Desmos, right? Put this into Desmos, find out where this parabola hits the x-axis. You're going to get some irrational answers, some rounded decimals. So you would just have to go to the choices and convert all of these into numerical values and see which one matches. It'll work, but we would like to know how to do it the real way using the quadratic formula, because there are times where you'll need it. So let's make sure we know how to do it that way as well. First thing we're going to do is we're going to bring this x over so that we have our quadratic in that ax squared plus bx plus c form, all equal to 0. And now we can apply the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This is not given to you on the test. You need to have this memorized. Now we'll pop in our values. B is this value right here. There's kind of an invisible -1 here. So it's going to be negative 1 plus or minus the square root of -1 squared. Now a also, there's this invisible 1 right here. So a is 1, and then c is -3. So this is going to be all over 2 times a, so 2 times 1. Let's clean this up. So negative 1 is positive 1. Now over here, we're going to get 1. Careful with the signs. 1 minus 4 times -3. 1 minus -12 is 1 plus 12. So we're going to get square root of 13 and then 2 on the bottom. Now in this case, we don't have to do any simplification. It's as simplified as it's going to get. And this gets us choice D, which is correct. In other cases, just as a side note, in case this comes up, let's imagine, just to illustrate, we had something like this. So 2 plus or minus the square root of, let's see, 8 over 2. If you're going to simplify, you've got to be careful. Yes, a 2 can cancel a 2 here, but you need this 2. It's kind of like the distributive property to cancel something out in both terms if you're going to try to do a full cancellation. So what we might have to do, like we would in this case, is look at the square root and recognize that, oh, well, this is just the square root of 4 times 2, and the square root of 4 is 2, so we can pop that out from underneath the radical, and we're left with that square root of 2 inside. So I could rewrite this as 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 2 over 2, and now I've got that common factor of 2 that we can cancel in all terms. So in this case, we would get 1 plus or minus square root of 2. Now, in this problem, we didn't have to deal with it because it didn't simplify any further, and there are other ways around it. Again, this would be correct numerically, so you could match it to a choice numerically, but it is important to know how to do those simplifications for problems where you'd have to do that. But here, using the quadratic formula, we'll get choice D.